Hey folks, Lever here once again. Welcome back to another review. Hope you all enjoyed my review slash epic rant on Spider-Man 3. Yeah, I hate that movie. Hated it, but welcome back to another revisit review. As you know, on my channel, which again is the mass profile picture. Thank you for another subscriber today. 88 subscribers now. I just always want to say thank you guys because I'm nice, that's why. Because I want you to know that, guys, I'm always grateful for it. I appreciate it, just you watching and stuff. It always encourages me to keep on going on YouTube. It helps me keep on going and going. So, encourages me to, you know, to do this. That's the reason I just love reviewing movies, and I'm glad you guys enjoy my reviews and just hearing my opinion. Remember, all my videos are just my opinion. You know, don't take it personal. You know, this is just my point of view of how I feel about a movie. And I'm gonna be honest in the video, of course. I can't sit here and lie. But thank you guys for the support. I do appreciate it as always. I know I hate to restart the YouTube channel here, but to go into this new channel from all the one with the Batman profile picture on. But I will be putting. I did put my review of this movie first. I did review the first movie. Uh, First movie was from 2005. Again, I've been doing a superhero marathon. I've been on the 2000, as I call it, 2000 of superhero movies. 2000 superhero reviews. Superhero movies that came out in 2000 to 2009. And we're still in the year 2007. I have this film and two more films to go after this. And I will not be reviewing Superman Doomsday. I will be sharing that on my superhero reviews and stuff, by the way. But I reviewed that many times ago. If you want to ever see my review of Superman Doomsday, just look at my name. It is on my other channel. And I'll be sharing it here on too, on the playlist. So you guys can watch it. But I've already reviewed it. Don't feel to do it again. And then I'm going to be on the TV series Justice League, talking about both seasons. You'll see TV show collection videos. I'll share that on this channel as well, so you guys know what those videos are. But anyway, today I'm reviewing the 2007 sequel that came out, the Fantastic Four movie from 2005, starring Jessica Alba, Aaron Gifford, Michael Chelskis, and Chris Evans. And today I'm reviewing the 2007 sequel that is Fantastic Four: Rise of the Silver Surfer. I know this movie gets mixed reviews. Some people hate it. Some people I do think hate the movie. Probably they hate the 2015 movie more, but I don't hate the 2015 film. I actually remember not minding that movie, but to be honest, I'll probably like this more than 2015 film. I still don't mind that movie. I don't think it's bad as people say. And neither are these two movies. These are probably my favorite Fantastic Four movies. I enjoyed Fantastic Four: Rise of the Silver. Yes, I liked it. Now I do have problems with it. It does have flaws. I do have my issues with it. I'm not gonna sit here and say it's a perfect movie, but again, I could watch it over, let's just say, the Venom Marvel movies, or I could watch it over Morbius. I could watch it over X Men Apocalypse or X Men Dark Phoenix. Sorry, or X Men Origins Wolverine, or even X Men First Class. I'd watch this over that, or Madam Web. I can't say anything about Craven the Hunter yet. Kind of curious about that movie, but I don't know if I could really trust Sony. But again, I don't think it's one of the worst. I mean, it's a solid sequel. Excuse the pun of that. It's a solid rock sequel. And I do like that they the Silver Surfer character. Like I said, there are issues with the movie, but I think it's an underrated sequel. I think it's fun. Last time I read it, I kind of considered it. I was like, man, but it grew on me. You know. And again, these are double features on Blu-ray for both movies. Yeah, these are pictures from the first two movies and the movie I'm reviewing now, Rise of the Silver Surfer. Which again, I liked this sequel. It's a double feature for both movies. I don't think you get special features for the first movie. I don't remember that, but you do get a little behind the scenes of Rise of the Silver Surfer a little bit. But again, I like the sequel. I thought it was pretty entertaining. It was a fun sequel. Not gonna lie, I did like it. Could it have been a little better? Yeah. I mean, there are some flaws, but it's still an enjoyable flick. Yeah, and it's only 92 minutes long. It felt really short, so I'm not complaining. Because now freaking MCU movies nowadays have to be over 2 hours. Mm. And I have to say it's better than some of the recent MCU movies. I can't say I hate all the recent MCU movies because I haven't seen all the recent ones, but I can definitely watch it over the Eternals, you know. But that's just me though. Yeah. But anyway, I'm gonna get and talking about the direction of the movie, how it came to be. Of course, you can say this film was made because the first movie, despite the mixed reviews though, the first movie, you know, sorry, First one that came out in 2005, it did make 300 on an 85.5 $100 million budget. It did make $333.5 million worldwide, so it was successful for it to gain a sequel. And then you had Spider-Man 3 that came out the same year. These two movies were probably filming at the same time. I like this more than Spider-Man 3 because it didn't bore me. Spider-Man 3 was too long and so cramped up, you know, showed everything in there. This movie, they do show some things in there, but it doesn't really ruin my enjoyment of it. Didn't feel like it was, you know, taking anything away from the story. You could have changed some things about the movie, but we'll get into all that later. All right, for the production, you get Jessica Alba getting her makeup retouched on the film set. Yeah, just a picture. With Fantastic Four grossing $333 million worldwide, 20th Century Fox hired director Tim Story again and screenwriter Mark Frost in December 2005 to return for the sequel. And then again, it was a time where some of the Marvel movies. Sorry if I just kind of go off balance here. Yeah, like I've always said, Marvel when it started out in the 80s, yeah, they were flops at first. You had the Howard the Duck, which flopped. The Incredible Hulk TV movies, Incredible Hulk Returns, and the Incredible, Incredible Hulk Returns. I'm sure World War II. That was a good movie, but again, it was a TV movie, so you know. And Charlie Incredible Hulk was decent. The Punch 1989. I love that movie, but it didn't make money very well here in the U.S. Death of the Incredible Hulk, honestly, was a huge disappointment. You know, Captain America 1990 sucked. The Fantastic Four. I will still say the 1994 Fantastic Four. To me, that is the worst Fantastic Four movie, in my opinion. In my opinion, Nick Fury Agent Show, I liked it, but it could have been better. Blade was awesome. That's when Marvel, became a hit. Then you had X Men, Blade 2, Spider Man 2002, Daredevil, which is underrated, Spider Man 2002, which is some of it in age well, but it's a good movie. It's Daredevil director cut, especially awesome. Then you had X2, a great sequel. Hulk. Hulk sucked from Annalise Hulk, still sucks in my opinion. The Punisher, great movie with Thomas Jane, the best Punisher movie in my opinion. Spider Man 2, which was a huge hit. Blade Trinity, did not make much money. It sucked. Electra sucked. And then the Fantastic Four 2005 film, which was successful. X Men Last Stand, even though I don't like it, it did make money. And even Ghost Rider made some money as well. So, you know, yeah. So some of the MCU movies, even the ones that I think the two of these that suck, Blade Trinity and Electra, and Hulk, they did make money though. So that's another reason why this sequel got made eventually, because some of them did make money at the time. You know, and mainly because the first film was successful. So, screenwriter Frost and Don Payne were hired to create the screenplay. Payne has said he's based the film on the Galactus trilogy, as well as comic issues 50-60, in which Doom steals the Server's power. Payne has also said the film takes inspiration from the Ultimate Marvel limited series Ultimate Extinction. As of March 2nd, 2007, Galactus' design was not yet done, and by April 18th, until hiring Lawrence Fishburne to perform the voice, the filmmakers were unsure whether the character would speak. Doug Jones was chosen to physically betray the Surfer, supposedly was unaware that he was being dubbed over. Since then, both this film and Hellboy remain the only two films where he has been dubbed over in English. The film includes the Fantastic Car, which is where the Fantastic Four uses a vehicle they use, which is really cool, by the way. A larger role for Kerry Washington's character Alicia Masters in June 2006. The Silver Surfer was announced to appear as a sequel as a villain hero. The Silver Surfer has been created by combining the performance of actor Doug Jones. They would have an actor on wire riding the surfboard, just on wires, probably doing screen tests and stuff. A lot of in this movie, the actors do wear wires. You know, Jessica Alba said that was fun, but it's a bit of a pain in the butt to do. The Zipper Surfer has been, you know, suit designed by Josh Ferguson and created by FX Shop Spectacle Motion, which has then been enhanced by a new computer-generated system designed by WTE. The sequel, whose work title was Fantastic Four 2, originally titled Rise of the Fantastic Four, Rise of the Silver Surfer, in August 2006, the film began on August 28th in Vancouver and set for a release date of June 15th. Michael Chesk's prosthetics as thing were also redesigned to allow him to take it off in between takes, and for better ventilation, because they would have a fan for him because I can imagine being in that suit in the heat. He's not CGI in this film. He does wear a suit. He is in my opinion, he is still the best. He looks better in the first movie, but he looked in the sequel too. They did change it up, which I can understand. I can imagine wearing that suit for him being out in the heat. Could you imagine that? In August 2006, actor Andre Bora dropped out of VR to be a supporting role in this movie. Bora, who was cast as General Hager, whom director Story described as an old acquaintance of Ray Richards and one of the major additions to the movie. Director Tim Story said the script originally contained Nick Fury, but the role eventually became that of General Hager, so Nick Fury would have forced Fox to purchase that character's rights. Also, Marvel refused to license the character. Some of Hager's lines of the film originated from Nick Fury in Ultimate Extinction. In September, Jones was confirmed to portray the Silver Surfer, and this enjoyment man responding his role as Doctor Doom. The Baxter building was also redesigned. During filming the scene where Sue shows emotions, Story asked Elwood to cry pretty, as he thought it looked too real and too painful. He also told her they can use CGI the tears. In my opinion, I think he was just telling Alba to look good. You know, they do make her look more. She does look a little hotter in the sequel, I admit, but it seems like they're more focused on her looks than her acting. And again, Jessica Alba, she did good. I liked her in one movie, and Into the Blue, but again, she's not the greatest actress in the world. It is more she's a movie star because, at least in my opinion, because of her looks. You know, but for the marketing of the movie, they of course had the trailer, which was really good. Sorry, I'm messing up here. Sorry. Uh, Burger King gave out toys for the movie, part of the marketing. You had TV spots, trailers, and all that stuff. And I never played the video game, but it did get a video game on PlayStation 2. Never played it. For the game allows the player to take the role of any member of the Fantastic Four, which is Reed Richards, Mr. Fantastic. His ability to shape his body into a super state and ability to stretch his body. Susan Storm, Invisible Woman. She has the ability to become invisible. Also, telekinesis powers and force energy from her hands are, she can use in her mind as well. Johnny Storm, the Human Torch. His body can turn flames, turn to fire. He can sustain the high levels of heat, and he can also fly. Van Grim, the thing. Incredibly strong with skin stronger than diamonds. Van Grim can also carry heavy objects throughout the game. During the game, the players face enemies from the Fantastic Four universe such as Silver Surfer, T-Rex, Red Ghost, Doctor Doom, and Super Skrull. You got missions like the whole team. There are various missions during the game, such as the Human Torch chasing the Silver Surfer through New York, which you've seen in the movie a little bit. Through New York, and Superstorm using her invisibility powers to sneak through a military base. The game also allows the use of fuse attacks, giving the player the ability of combining powers to pull off new moves. There are 12 different moves in the game, one with these combination of team members. One example is Sue creating an energy field, Johnny filling it with flame, creating a bomb. Another is Ben charging toward an enemy, and Sue projecting spinning telekinesis blades. Yeah, yeah, but I've never played the game before. One guy said it's better than Pirates of the Caribbean at World's End, but criticized it for being dull. Okay, that makes sense. I actually like the Pirates of the Caribbean. I don't like the movie, but I actually did enjoy the Pirates of the Caribbean video game World's End. I enjoyed playing that on PlayStation. I really enjoyed that. I can't say the same for this because I've never played it before. I've only played but I have played the game from the first movie. All right. For the cast, you have Iron Gopher coming back as Reed Richards, Mr. Fantastic. Yeah. Again, he's the leader of the group. He has the power to stretch his body. Iron Gopher's been in other movies like Amazing Grace, Bad Boys. He was in Bad Boys or Die that came out this year. He was on Titanic. I think I remember him in that. Uh, San Andreas, Justice League War. So he did a voice for in a superhero movie. Love Justice League War. That's a great movie. Jessica Alba as Sue Storm, Invisible Woman. Her and Reed are now getting engaged. She of course has the ability to turn invisible, use force shields, and does have telekinesis power. They use that in this film as well. Jessica Alba, like she said, she was into the blue with the late Paul Walker. Spy Kids All Time World, which I heard that movie sucked. She was in the Sin City movies, which I heard is another comic book film. Good Luck Chuck, Valentine's Day, Little Fuckers. Yeah. And Chris Evans as Johnny Storm, the Human Torch. Now, like I've said before, Chris Evans, y'all should know him not just playing for the Human Torch, but he also voiced Casey Jones in the TMT, the Ninja Turtles CGI animated movie, which I reviewed. He voiced Casey Jones. That came out the same year as this. So he's probably busy that year. I mean, I liked him in Cellular as well. He was in Scott Pilgrim Faces of the World and Piercer. Of course, I know him. He would keep working with Marvel because he was for the MCU. He became Steve Rogers. He played Steve Rogers, Captain America, starting in 2011 with Captain America: The First Avenger. Many sometimes years later after this movie, and of course the sequel was the Winter Soldier, the Winter Soldier, Civil War, all the Avengers movies, the first one to Endgame. Michael Cheskis as Ben Grimm, the Thing, who was, got a rock solid body. Well, Johnny Storm, he can fly, he turns everybody into fire, he can manipulate it as well. Michael Cheskis as Ben Grimm, he's the Thing, he's the rock-like thing with super strength. Michael Cheskis. So I can't. Well, he did a TV show called The Shield, and he was in Gotham as well. Origin story of Batman as Captain Barnes. So he was an Eagle Eye as well. I think I remember him in that. Yeah, he was in the Adam Sandler movie Hubby Halloween. Never seen it. Anna Parker with Jason Statham. Julian McMahon comes back as Victor Von Doom, Doctor Doom. Uh, Again, he was after they defeated him. He comes back, gets unfrozen, and tries to basically Victor's going here to get the power of the Surfer. He has the power of electricity. His body's made of metal, but he kind of gets better. Julian McMahon. I remember hearing a movie called Paranoia. Not really a good film at all. He was in Premonition with Sandra Bullock. Paranoia. Yeah. And a movie called The Supremes at Oral's All You Can Eat that came out this year. Kerry Washington is Alicia Masters, Ben's girlfriend. She was in Django Unchained, uh, Bad Company. I think she was also in Little Man as well. Mr. and Mrs. Smith. Little Man, like I said, I think I Love My Wife. Lakeview Terrace with Samuel Jackson. Of course, he would, play Nick Fury in the MCU. Andre Braugher, the late Andre Braugher Jr. Hager, he passed away. Said it last year back in December. Really great actor. I know he's done some TV shows like Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Uh, and other movies as well. He was in Frequency with Dennis Quaid. Frequency and Jim Caviezel. Really, that's an underrated movie. I like that film. Anyway, he was also in The Mist. I liked him in that. Porno Fair. He was in Glory. I remember him in that. Really great actor, in my opinion. Miss the guy. You know. And Lawrence Fishburne as the voice of Silver Surfer. Lawrence Fishburne, he did the narration voice for the TNT movie that came out this year. Also, the two Superman movies he was in. Well, he was in The Matrix, of course. And the other Superman movies that he did, two of them was for DC and Marvel. One was Man of Steel, and the other was Ant-Man and the Wasp. Excuse me. And Doug Jones, the Silver Surfer, like I said, he, of course, is known as he played Abe. Yeah, Abe Sabin in Hellboy and Hellboy 2: The Golden Army, and he voiced him as well in Hellboy: Sword of Stones and Hellboy: Blood and Iron. And the year after this movie came out, he would go back to play Abe again in Hellboy 2: The Golden Army and The Angel of Death and the Chameleon. I can't say it right, but he would go back in 2008 to return to Hellboy with Hellboy 2: The Golden Army. This came out the year after this. Bura Garrett as Captain Ray. I guess he's like a hero in the comics. Okay. Oh, okay. She's her, yeah, female character. She's beautiful. I like this actress a lot. Didn't know her was like she was like a superhero or whatever. All right. Not gonna read all about that. Brian Bushin as wedding minister. He was in The Wedding Singer that starred Adam Sandler. Dumb and Dumber when Harry met Lloyd. Zach Grin as Mr. Sherman with Fake. He was in. I remember him in Twister. He was in Tommy Boy as well. They're like, oh, it'll cost you. You need to think, you little prick. Just kind of, when he talks to Big Tom, Brian Dennehy, and he's in Tommy Boy, and David Spade's recording him. This guy right here, he's in Tommy Boy, and he's like, "Congratulations, Tom! I like to get me some of that." If you've seen Tommy Boy, you know what I'm talking about. He was in Cliffhanger as well with Stallone. I figured he was in that movie. Problem Child 2, Zodiac, and he was in the RoboCop remake, unfortunately. Vanessa Miller as Johnny's wedding date. She was in Disaster movie, and yeah, which that is that's a terrible movie, awful movie. Patrick Harris as Patricia Harris. I can't say her name right. Uh, haven't seen her in anything else. And Stan Lee is a rejected wedding guest, which I'll get to that. Stan Lee may rest in peace. I miss him, but he, of course, makes cameo in a lot of his Marvel movies. Yeah, yeah. Since I think the Fantastic Four was like the first characters he created. I believe so. Him and Jack Kirby. It is directed by Tim Story once again, who directed the first movie. He directed Taxi, not a big fan of that, or Barbershop. I don't know if I'm a huge fan of those movies. I didn't. I wouldn't. I didn't. I don't care to watch the Ride Along movies. He directed Tom and Jerry, so I think the Fantastic Four movies are the best ones he's directed. Because I think he was more of a guy that worked on music videos and stuff. Yeah. The screenplay is by Don Payne and Mark Frost. Uh, he wrote scripts for My Super Ex Girlfriend and Thor: The Dark World. Yeah. Not great movies, but I like them. And Mark Frost. Can't think of any other movie. Well, the first Fantastic Four movie. Stories by John Turman and Mark Frost is based on Fantastic Four created by Stan Lee and Jack Kirby, produced by Avi Everett, who has produced, as a producer in a lot of Marvel movies, starting with Blade from 1998 to now, you know, and produced by Bruno Inger. I can't say his name right. I'm sorry. Sadly you know, passed away back in 2011. He wrote, he worked on the Neverending Story, produced that, I guess. Well, the Fantastic Four, the Roger Corman version one. Let's see, what did he do after Fantastic Four? Okay, not much. And Ralph Winter. He's produced some of the Star Trek movies. That is Star Trek: The Three Star Trek, The Voyage Home, The Final Frontier, The Undiscovered Country, Captain Ron, Hocus Pocus, Hackers, Mighty Joe Young, Inspector Gadget with Mr. I hate that movie. First X-Men movie, Left Behind the movie. Love that film. Good movie. X2, Planet of the Apes. The Tim Burton remake, X-Men Last Stand. And that's Origins Wolverine. Cinematography by Larry Blanford. Edited by William Hoy, who's done editing on films like Silent Assassin, Star Trek 60 Undiscovered Country, Patriot Games starring Harrison Ford, Outbreak starring Dustin Hoffman, Rena Russo, Morgan Freeman, and Kevin Spacey, and Cuba Gooding Jr. Sorry, We Were Soldiers, I, Robot starring Will Smith, uh, Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, the 2014 sequel, War for the Planet of the Apes, The Batman from 2022. Oh, okay, he edited that. Awesome, love that movie. So he got to work on the Super Music by John Ottoman. Let's see. John Arman did some of the score for Superman Returns the year before this, and I think he also worked on, let's see, he also worked on the Cable Guy comedy, sorry, not superhero movie. He did some of the musical for X2. What about the first one? Nope. But X2, X Men United. He did the musical Celia, another film that stars Chris Evans, though. And like I said, Superman Returns, the first Fantastic Four movie. He did the score for that. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I'm freaking wrong. He did not do that for. I think that was somebody else. Yeah. Oh, that was John Powell, not John Ottoman. Sorry. Uh, Astro Boy. I think that's a superhero movie too. I gotta give that a review properly. Unknown with Liam Neeson. X Men Apocalypse. X Men Days of Future Past and X Men Apocalypse. Love Days of Future Past, not Apocalypse though. Production companies 20th Century Fox, Marvel Entertainment, 1419 Pictures Constant Film. Ignis Film Partners Dune Entertainment is distributed by 20th Century Fox. It was released June 13 in Egypt, Jamaica, and some other countries. It was released June 15th in the United Kingdom and here in the United States, and August 14th in Germany. It's 92 minutes long. The budget was 120 or through 130 million dollars. The box office made 301.9 million dollars worldwide. So it was successful at the box office, but it did get mixed reviews from critics. Fortunately, the main forecast they signed a three-movie deal. Fox Studios and Julian McMahon also signed for a third film. Michael Chester was told Ben Grimm's relationship with Alicia Masters would have a greater focus in the third film. Jessica Alba expressed interest in inducing Franklin Richards. Oh, he's the son of Mr. Invisible Woman. Okay. That would have been interesting. With Barry Garrett wishing to return as Nova. Tim Story said he was interested in directing a third and fourth film. Don Payne said that he had discussed the deal with the studio, interested in working with more contestable characters, like doing more villains and stuff. And they would have added Black Panther. But the movie performed less at the box office than the first one. It did. The first one did make more money, and the reviews were not very good at the time. So 20th Century Fox was uncertain of the future, so they scrapped it and said no. Fox House plans to reboot it, which did happen, of course, with Josh Trank, which I don't hate that movie. That movie could have been great, but Sony, really, I think got their hands on it. I think it was Sony. Yeah. Or was it? No, I'm sorry. It was still 20, well, 21st century. 20th Century Fox, I think, got greedy at the time with the 2015 film Man Four Stick. I call it Fantastic or whatever. But you know what? They did because, again, it was a time where they. This was the time. This movie came out the year before we got Iron Man when the MCU started. And when that happened, Marvel movies started boom, 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 started making money at the box office. You know, as soon as Iron Man came out, basically Marvel was a huge hit then. And I'm guessing 20th Century Fox just got greedy at the time, and when 2015 came along, you had the Avengers films, which made $1 billion at the box office. So they're probably thinking, yeah, let's just focus on making it a huge hit. That's just my opinion, though. Yeah, and of course the film got a worse reception and it did fail at the box office. Yeah, I don't think it completely failed at the box office, but the AMC is talking about doing a new movie, which I'm not so sure about. John Krasinski, I can't say his name right. He was in Doctor Strange as Reed Richards. He was decent, and Chris Evans was his role as Transform and Deadpool and Wolverine, which I still haven't seen, but I need to though. Yeah. So yes, that's probably because this film wasn't a hit and the reception. Yeah, one critic, James Bernard called the film so lackluster it makes Spider-Man feels like a masterpiece. James Bernard, I disagree with you 100%. I'd rather watch this over Spider-Man 3 any day. Some critics still liked it. I don't think it's better than the first one, though, in my opinion. Yeah, saying Spider-Man 3 is better. I'm like, yeah, uh-huh. I don't agree with you. I disagree with that 100%. But anyway, let's get into the plot synopsis of the movie. We're in 30 minutes in. So basically, what the story is about. Sorry, I was like drinking my water. Oh, I notice I'm wearing my YouTube shirt. Put my butt back down. No, I'm not trying to go shirtless. I'm not. I'm not going to. I'm not going to be like Chris Farley and Billy Madison. That is correct. Sorry, I'm just getting crazy. All right. What Fantastic Four Rise of is about is that this time the Fantastic Four, Reed and Susan, Johnny and Ben, Reed and Susan are trying to get married. They have to face an intergalactic messenger who has arrived to Earth to prepare for Earth's destruction. And there's things happening to the Earth. I'm not a scientist, but the Earth is being attacked. Weird things are happening, like it's a lot of snow, water's getting, like, oceans and lakes are getting frozen. And while at the same time being this thing wreaks havoc around the world. So the team must also contend with the unexpected return of and the film is only 1 hour 32 minutes. I'm sorry. Yeah. So they have to deal with that, but also you have Doctor Doom. Victor Von Doom comes back as they confront him, and but like I said, Doctor Doom, Victor is here back again, not to help out, but he wants to get the Silver Surfers aboard so that he can have power, because that's what he wants, power, and have the power for himself. And meanwhile, they later make an ally for the Silver Surfer, and he has and it's an Earth or a world, a cloud called Galactus, who is going to destroy the whole Earth. So the Fantastic Four have to team up with the Silver Surfer, get him on their side, or convince him to be, and get him team up, and they have to stop Doctor Doom, who's got the Surfer, and take him down, and also stop Galactus with the help of the Silver Surfer from destroying the world. And they have to hence save the world. You know, that's the plot in a nutshell for you. Yeah, and learn how to be more of a team. You know, learning to be who they are. But anyway, plots and all. So I'll get more into that. There will be spoilers in this review. So if you have not seen Fantastic Four Rise of the Silver, stop watching this video right now. Do not spoil it for yourself. I'm gonna talk about the movie itself. Now, like I said, I do have problems with it, but I'll get more into that in the video at the end of the video. Okay? Yeah. All right. The film takes place 2 years after the first film. We open in the beginning. It does have some nice titles with the opening in space, and you see Galactus. The silver object enters Earth's atmosphere, cosmic energy that creates massive molecular functions. Well, functions cause deep locations around the Earth. Meanwhile, you have the Fantastic Four. At the airport, Reed and Sue are, of course, he asked Sue to marry him, and she said yes. Preparing for the wedding, and again, them being the Fantastic Four, they become like celebrities almost. And I like it, when Ben Grimm, when the thing like picks one kid like smile, that was funny. And I thought it was funny. In this movie, the humor works a lot. For some people, it does. I'm not saying every humor hits the mark, but here some it does. Yeah. And Johnny's acting childish, or the immaturity, the jokester one, being funny, and the thing has to go sit, in between these people, and Ben's like, "Excuse me, that's my spot." And the guy's like, and Ben Grimm's like, "Sorry," and he's in between these people, and it's normal because you know how big he is. And Johnny goes right shotgun. He goes to fly outside the plane. I forgot to mention this scene where not Victor, Reed is trying to put his bag up. Before this lady puts her bag up, so he uses his stretch to put that bag in the coach. And that lady just looks at him like this, and Reed's like, I thought that was funny. And then the thing is like, oh, this is annoying. This probably won't take too long. And then Johnny's flying outside like this, and he closes the window and he's like, "I hope it rains." That was hilarious. Uh, they start their they're going to prepare for their wedding, and Reed's working on his working on this that these motherfuckers is doing his science stuff, and Johnny talks to him about having a party, a bachelor party, since they're getting married, since him and Sue are getting married. And there are times where him and Sue do have their arguments, and where she's trying to talk to him about the wedding. And again, I never really care for their relationship too much. It's there, but I do feel like two of them are miscast. But Chris Evans and Michael Chiklis, they're perfect for their parts. They're great in this film. And it feels like with this movie, they focus more on Johnny as a character, like having him be a little more mature. The first one was like more focus and depth, you know, on Ben Grimm, and this film it's more focus and depth on Johnny and character development a little bit for him. Yeah, they get approached by the general. They go to the not the wedding, but the bachelor party. Because like they're not strippers or anything. They're just really hot. And he talks to them, drinks them a little bit, and Ben Grimm looks at these women, thinks looks at these women, he knows they're not gonna go for him. You know, because they go to a party, I like it when he's dancing a bit or has a drink and burps. I thought that was hilarious. And then you got Reed talking to these ladies about his side of stuff and flirting with them a little bit, dances with them, and relaxes and uses powers, stretch powers to dance. Meanwhile, General Hager, played by the late, I forget his name, but he comes and he says, I'm here to see Richards. And it's like, he's like, he's not here, but can I help you? Yes, can you help me find Reed Richards? Okay, Sue says. So they find him at the party. They see him dancing with these ladies. And that was pretty cringeworthy, to be honest. Seeing Mr. Fantastic do that, that's pretty lame. He shows up. He's like, "Oh, I was just showing these girls this," and he's like, "Well, we need to talk to you importantly. They want Reed to build a sensor to track the movements of the object, which they don't know is a Silver Surfer. Not yet. We don't even see the Surfer yet at this point. But Reed tells him, no, go find this other doctor. And he tells Stu, apologizes. He's like, well, you know what? It's nothing what I did Reed at my bachelor party. Talk about wild. But Reed, behind Stu's back, is building the build. He does build a sensor, but behind her back. And of course, Ben and finds out about it. He's like, we build that thing for the general. He's like, don't tell Stu. Like, my lips are Stu if I had any. He's like, don't tell Johnny what. He's like, you're working on that? You're going to get an invisible kick in the nuts if Stu finds out. And they agree to, and the wedding starts, and you know, she puts her wedding dress on. Susan does, and she's like, "Oh, I'm sure ever going to be normal." You got like a zit on her head. She's like, uses her invisibility powers to hide the zit. I'll just take care of it later. And for wedding guests, you have Stan Lee making a cameo. He's like, "Wait a minute, sir, who are you?" I'm like, "I'm Stan Lee." He's like, "Sure you are." I was like, "No, really, I'm Stan Lee. I'm Stan Lee." That was funny. I love that cameo by Stan. One of his best, in my opinion. I may have said Spider-Man 3, but I love his cameo in that, by the way. That was the best scene in that movie, in my opinion, of course. But the wedding starts, and there's a massive blackout where he's reading off his phone, computer or whatever, and he's going off, and he's rushing the priest. The priest like, "Excuse me," and he's trying to, rush him to hurry up to the end, skip to the end. She's like, "Read," and then he goes crazy, and the server comes by, and anomaly, whatever you want to call him, I'm not a scientist, but comes by, that there's a plane that somebody has like congratulations, the helicopter nearly wrecks, almost hits the people at the wedding. And Sue uses her force shield to stop it. One the side the wing the wing of it though is about to hit Susie. She can't see because she's blind. I forgot to mention earlier. I'm sorry. Thought it was funny when Johnny is teasing Ben and saying, "Well, I hate how do you guys?" It's like, "This is none of your business." And he's like, "I mean, I hate to wake up one morning and find out that she was killed by a rock slide." Like, that's hilarious, I thought. But anyway, Ben does save her from getting hit by the wing of the plane by just grabbing it, hits him in the face. But of course, he's the thing; he'll be fine. Uh, Reed uses his stretch powers to save like two people from almost getting hit by the plane. And he says, Johnny's like, Johnny, oh, I got the new suit. Come on, Johnny. And Johnny, fly mom comes the Human Torch, follows it. And then when you see the Silver Surfer for the first time, can't see it now, but as they're chased, really great special effects. I love the way the Silver Surfer looks. When we first see him just coming out of the building, fantastic special effects. I remember that being the trailer, a teaser for the movie, teaser one of the TV spots for the movie of Johnny chasing him. Johnny's like, wow, that's so cool. Johnny chases him out, flying. They fly around some buildings. Silver Surfer can go through a building. He chases him in a subway tunnel, and the Silver Surfer can go through his face through the board, looks at Johnny, and Johnny's like, show off. And he goes through the bus. Johnny can't, so Johnny has to. So like, ow, you know. And he has to catch the surfer. He's like, wow, he's fast. And he's flying, he's trying to get him. He's like, all right, that's enough. She could flat more to him to get him, but Silver Surfer just grabs him in the neck. He's like, can we talk? And he takes him up to the air, well, to the space. I guess because Johnny's abilities, he can, or count with the Silver Surfer, it kind of saves him from, turning into ice, I guess, whatever. But it doesn't happen. He throws him back to Earth, and he looks at Galactus, who's the planet, and he's like, Master, another world that's yours to have for destruction. And he takes off. And I forgot to mention when Silver Surfer is flying though away, Victor, who's in another country, is frozen before they have their bachelor party. I forgot to mention. Sorry, but he gets because if you remember the first movie, they froze him. They put him on ice. Victor comes back to life. He's not dead. He's just frozen, but you see his eyes opening. The doctor tries to get him. Not this doctor, but this doctor gets his mask off, and he wakes up and electroshocks. As you say, kills the guy. Takes his mask off, and his face is heavily scarred. Johnny reactivates his powers though, and he ends up in the desert. And she was like, "Whoa!" And he burns her tent. And he sees this camel. He's like, "Hi." But they say, "John, are you okay?" He's like, "Your counter with this Silver Surfer. You know, at least you're alive, Johnny. You're okay." Johnny's like, "I don't feel so well." And him and Sue and Reed talk. He says, "I'm sorry about the wedding." He's like, "I'm sorry. I understand you put that thing for the general." And he walks away. She's like, "Use the force shield." And I was like, "Can you release the force shield, please?" And she does. And she talks, and she's like, "I'm gonna go check on Johnny." And Johnny tries to use his human first powers to fly, but he falls all the way to the ground. She's like, "You okay?" Touches him, but doing that, she gets his powers. She ends up on fire. So I was like, Sue, is that flame? He turns invisible, trips some people up, and she's like, Reed's like, Sue, you're on fire. Think, you know, and like Sue, get down to that. And she touches Johnny. We don't see her naked. I mean, that'd be nice, but anyway, she disappears. Like, why does this always happen to me? She turns invisible. The powers are back when he touches her. Yeah. And he tells her, uh, Reed tells him that your encounter with the Silver Surfer is bad, so anytime you touch us, you can't touch us. You get our powers. And Ben was trying to like, I just want to give him a hug. And Ben touches him. He's like, I'm me again, I'm me again. It's just Michael Chiklis as Ben Grimm in his human form. And Johnny looks at the picture. He's with us. I was like, come on, we just said this was serious. And he's mad and freaked out. Excuse me. He's mad and freaked out, which I thought was hilarious. And then he touches Johnny, touches him back, and and Ben's like, oh crap, you know, we're gonna spend some real good quality time together. And the team talks, and Reed tells the rest of the Fantastic Four that this series of other planets that Alien has visited, and they've all been destroyed. Uh, Reed and Sue do talk about having a normal life. Johnny overhears this. Johnny's been a solo guy anyway, and that upsets him. Tells him about it. But Kerry Washington's Alicia tells them, you know what, guys, you can't blame them. Just let them be happy. That's their decision. Just don't be too mad with them, okay? And then that's when Reed tells them about what the server's been doing. Discovers that like he's an alien that's been going around for years, another Earth. And 8 days later, the planet is destroyed. And like I said, Victor's been open. Victor is able to use that technology. He's able to figure out where the surfer's at. Uses a helicopter, and he says, "Sounds like, can you understand me? Can you understand what I'm saying?" The surfer can understand what humans saying. What Victor's saying, he's like, "We can team up. With us, we can conquer the world. We will be unstoppable." Because he wants that power. He wants to team up. And he's like, "All that you know is you're gonna be straight." Victor's like, "Wait, what do you mean by that? Get back here! Hey!" Shocks him. Silver Surfer looks back to his board, attacks him, and turns him back to his normal face, and it's like goes back to normal. It reverses the change over the metal of his body and the scars on his face. Deal leverages though his experience to deal with the United States military. Um, and the four do get mad at each other because Johnny's like, "I'm going for this." I was like, "No, it's a good idea." It's like, "Just like you're leaving us, but we're going to tell you guys that later." And they're arguing and bickering a little bit. And he's like, "We'll talk about this later." And it's like, "What the heck's wrong with you people?" The general says. And there's this big Ferris wheel, and the Ferris wheel nearly gets destroyed thanks to Surfer coming by, breaking out of the Earth. And Sue has to use her powers, use her force shield to attack it to stop it. And Ben has to grab it, and Reed uses all his stretch abilities to cover it around to get it. But Sue sees Surfer, and then she has to go for him. He hits Reed by accident. Reed gets his powers, and he tells, you know, Ben, pick it up. But Johnny's on the ground, just almost got them killed. You know, but Reed's able to think of an idea real quick. Gets him to put the the wheel back where it was, so he can put fire on it, and it puts it back. And he gets his powers from Johnny. He's like, "Sue, you okay?" Sue almost got hurt. And then he's like, "Get back before you hurt somebody." And you see that look on Johnny's face of regret what he almost did. And then they see what happened. The surfer damaged the place, and General Jones was like, "What the hell was that? You almost got somebody killed, foolishly." And Victor shows up, and Ben gets mad and really attacks him. He's like, "If you're a ghost, then you'll mind for break through on neck." And he's like, "Right now, I trust him more than you people." And he tries to tell the general, he tries to tell him, you know, you can't trust Victor. You're gonna regret it. So I regret our trust in you, Reed. And him and Victor have to help each other. He tells him that to do that. He gets his powers from the board. They develop a pulse generator separate from it, which will lose his power. Him and Sue are working together, and Sue gets mad with Victor because he's not there to help. And she tells him, "You know what? I can." I was like, "Do you mind? Could you not first?" He's like, "Why don't you go help him? I'll be there who was hand in a bit." Teases her, and he's like, "I can create a force in somebody's mind so they explode, right?" He's like, "Give it a try," Victor says. But Victor helps out a little more, but he's got his own agenda, like I said. Later, they go to the woods to put these generators out, which was all four team together. I liked it though when Ben confronts he tells them, "Go out, guys." They separate, meet back. They're gonna meet back up later. They just this generator, they put like a thing in it, and it'll inject him or whatever, get him off the board. It'll kind of give him an electric shock in his brain. I liked it though when Ben confronts the bear. He's like, "Hey guy," and the bear roars him. He's like, I was like, "Yeah, that's right. You run, boo boo." And the surfer confronts Sue, and Sue's like, "Wait," and he's like, "Still the surfer, why are you trying to destroy us? It's not me trying to destroy you. It isn't the creator, the one whom do you serve?" And he's like, "I have no choice." I was like, "We all have a choice." He is a servant to Galactus, which he doesn't tell yet. The military opens fire on the surfer. The surfer, protects Sue, and I like that moment though with the surfer where he's able to grab a missile in there, which was a pretty cool moment. It's a bit of a fight. It's cool until Susan puts the fire post down to the surfer. They push the button and it knocks him out. Before he can try to get his board to escape, he runs into Victor and Victor shocks him. He's like, "Not so tough without your board, are you?" In the military imprisoned the surfer in Siberia. They're going to torture him for information. They're forbidden to interact with him, so they kind of lock them up. So they realize that they need to help him. Even though Ben says, "Well, he gets what he deserves." How could you say that? Well, he could be the short. He could be lying. So Sue uses her powers. Well, Johnny makes a distraction with, "Hey, can we have a pizza, popcorn, something like that?" So Sue uses her invisibility to search around the facility. She goes to talk to the surfer. He tells her his master was known by the people of his world as Galactus, a massive cloud, cosmic energy which must feed on life, bearing planets to survive. And then his board is a home beacon, which even now summons him to the planet. He goes, "Cherish each moment you have, because your war's going to end soon." And they said that they don't need this episode, said to help him with Ben distracting the guard. I guess knocked him out. We don't see it, but they're able to escape. The general talks with Victor, and they say, "Okay, you can look the board with my supervision." And he says, "You know what? Reed is actually right." And then he uses lesser sharp powers, puts his mask back on, gets the suit. He creates this armor, this bracelet that can Victor can use to control. That Doom can use it to control it. And he's like, yeah, enjoying that power of it. Storm tries to shoot at him, but since he's metal, he can't really kill him because his body's pretty made of metal. He just uses the board of the powers like, wow, neat, and flies away. Before the Fantastic Four can get in there, he rips open and escapes, and this big rock side ends up hitting him, and it hits Ben, and Ben ends up hitting Reed, and he's like, "Reed?" He's like, "Sorry." And then they're like, "What are we gonna do?" And then he gets the Fantastic Cores or whatever you want to call it, the Fantastic Cores, and I thought it was funny when Johnny they grab the cover. That girl, I forget her name, the character that Johnny likes, who tells him to grow up a little bit, that it's not a game. But he's like, "Well, please, Joseph, please trust us. The world's about to end. We need to go save it." And they get the Fantastic Cores, and Johnny's like, "Oh, this is awesome. I'm doing Shrek. I'm doing Shrek. I can do fly ride you all day, pretty boy." He's like, and Ray goes, "Stop, shut up, shut up. Let's just do this." And they get in the Fantastic Core. And I like it when Ben says, "All our problems are here. Okay, we're wanted terrorists now, criminals now by the United States of America. Victor's out there with unlimited power, with God knows what, and we're having a planet coming to destroy us, all life on Earth as we know it. Did I leave anything out?" I thought that was funny. And they reach up to Victor. They are able to home on the board. He's like, "I never been given up type, Reed," and he doesn't want to listen. He just wants to use it for power. And he tries to attack them, but they separate. And he chases Susan. And Susan's like, "He's really pissing me off." Before something can happen, Mr. Fantastic is able to Reed uses his stretch powers to grab her Fantasia Core, get her from being destroyed. And that was a pretty entertaining scene. But he's able to use rocks or water to even get, Human Torch, he's like, surfs up Metalhead and he punches him in the head. And the Fantastic Four confront him. He's like, "Let's all go for a spin." Sorry. Yeah, it was over the top of that line, but it was fun. And Victor gets ready to kill the surfer, but Sue tries to stop him. She gets struck in the heart, nearly dies. The team knows they can't beat them. Just three of them and take all of them. So Johnny takes their powers. As a friend of mine once said, it's clobber time, and Galactus is getting very close to destroying the Earth, where they end up in Shanghai. And he fights Doom a little bit. I like it though when he grabs him or and punches him a couple times. And where the fireball disappears, he can't see him. Rolls around him like a snake with use Mr. Fantastic's powers. Gets him off destroys the bracelet and gets the board off. And Ben in his human form uses a crane to hit Doctor Doom and knocks him into the water. And then of course he has his power. He gives them Johnny gives them all their powers back, and Surfer gives his board, and like he'll sue her or whatever because she's close to dying, and he tells Ray, tell her she was right. We do have a choice, and he chooses to go stop the Surfer. And I like it when Johnny kind of helps him get up there. He's like, I no longer serve you, and he destroys Galactus for good, or dies with him and saves the Earth. You know, and the Team Talk's like, well, I guess it's over now. With all of it, it's over, and you don't have to be normal just to have a family. And you know what? This is who we are. We're the Fantastic Four. They don't say that, but we're the Fantastic Four. This is who we are, and we gotta accept it. Johnny's right, and they accept who they are. Realize that they are heroes that the world needs saving, and that's what their powers are for—to help fight for good, fight against evil. You know, and then Reed and Sue get married in Japan, and they get ready to leave, and there's an attack happen, and even Sue respects that and says, Sue says, "All right, we gotta go. Can you hurry up? Hurry it along, pal." And he does, and they get you know Johnny's girlfriend, the military lady now as his girlfriend. She almost catches the bouquet, the flowers when the way the woman throws it in the pack. But what happens is Johnny burns it. Sorry, just too inconvenient. And they fly off. They use the signature four in the sky with a fantastic car, which is cool. Those fantastic cars I really love here in the sequel. I wish they would have used it more, but anyway. Then the credits go back to a shot of the Silver Surfer's lifeless body floating. His eyes open, and it's just that he's still alive. Just passed out and stuff. And that's the end of Fantastic Four Rise Silver Surfer. Sorry, I ate a little bit too much pizza, but it was good pizza though. All right, and that's my final thoughts on Fantastic Four Rise Silver Surfer. That's the end of the movie. So good movie. There's a line in there which I gotta mention where the general tells him, back off, Reed. You and your little freaks stay in the back. I'm the quarterback. He's like, you're the quarterback, right? Like I stay back and good little nerd, but you know what? I'm one of the genius minds in the world, and I'm marrying the hottest woman on the planet. Yeah, and I got the general asking me, the great Reed Richards, for help. So he better respect me. And I like that line. When Victor, Johnny tries to flirt with Frankie Ray, tells her, "You ever done any professional modeling? Not interested, because you got an amazing complex. Not interested." Well, you just walked away. I was definitely still talking. I hate to wake up one morning and find out she was on a rock slide. I'll show you rock slide. Did you know I can create a force field in someone's body and expand it into the blood? Invitation, sure. I should be on that list. Name Stanley? Yeah, yeah, and that's right. No, I'm really Stan Lee. Alright, well, guys, I don't feel like doing many quotes, but you know the quotes if you've seen this movie. Alright, let me give my final opinion on this movie. This, Fantastic Four Rise of I did like this. I enjoyed the sequel. This was a solid sequel. This was a fun sequel. I definitely think it's underrated. And like I said, I think these movies are better. Now I do have my issues, but before I get to that, I do like the story. I like how they bring the Silver Surfer in here. He was a good character, and the film had really good action in it. I love the Fantastic Cars, whatever you want to call them. They were really cool. You know, I like that they give Johnny a little more humanity in here. They develop his character to grow up a little mature, and he does. He's still the same way, but grows up a little bit. You know, but him flying and using his Human Torch powers, turning on fire. It still looks great for 2007. It looks great, and I like Ben Grimm as the thing. Michael Chester as the thing. They're the best parts about it. The late Andre Burrow, he's really good. Kerry Washington's good. Joey McMahon, first time he's good. He's good in the movie. And it's an entertaining sequel. It's only 92 minutes long. Now 32 minutes. It's very short, and it's a very fast-paced movies. Fast-paced movie. The special effects look amazing, especially when the Silver Surfer, when he can face with a building or whatever. The effects look great. When he's fighting the military, that was awesome. Some really good special effects. The Fantastic Four, their suits still look really cool. Of course, Ben has to wear the pants for the Fantastic Four pants he's got on, but still, their suits look really cool. It's an entertaining, fun movie. I guess people either had a problem with the story. Now, I guess in the comics, Galactic looked like this, but he was not a planet in the comics. I think the film would have made him like this. It would have been better. But before I get into my problems, I do like Michael Cheskis. Some of the cast is good. The music score again, da, 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 da. I think Tim Story did a good job directing. Thought it had a good story in there. Music score, the editing, the action scenes I thought were well shot. Cinematography is nice. Special effects design, special effects are really good. I think a lot of the humor works. Doesn't work every time. You know, and it goes by at a quick pace too. So, and it's a fun sequel. Now, if I have any problems with quick, well, my problems are, yeah, I don't think you needed Doctor Doom in this sequel. I think you could have just had Galactus more focused on being a bigger threat. He does seem like a bigger threat. You didn't need to make him a planet. That was stupid. And I don't mind Silver Surfer in here. Maybe Surfer could have served him, but maybe turn against him or whatever. They could have done a lot better with the character, but he's not. I don't think he's a clown in the comics. Maybe he is. I could be wrong. Or a planet or whatever they made him in this movie. You could have done so much better with the character. Doctor Doom, you didn't need him in there. Of course, we know what Doctor Doom was prior. You could have saved him for a third or fourth movie. You know, having the first movie, they would have been able to make a fourth movie if you just would have cut him out and have Galactus as the main villain instead, along with Silver Surfer as the secondary antagonist turned hero. I think that would have worked more to its favor. You know, put out some of the corny humor. Well, it's a comic book film, Marvel, so it does have humor in there. Uh, Reed doing the dance, that was a bit silly, cringeworthy, but not enough for me to say, oh, that made me mad. Like it was awful in Spider-Man 3 that dancing. Oh, it's just Spider-Man 3 is boring to me. It's too much crammed in. This didn't have too much crammed in. I just don't think you needed to cram Doctor Doom in the story. We didn't need him back in here. I'm not saying Joe McMahon was terrible or anything. He does a good job, but you could have saved him for another movie. You know, you didn't need Doctor Doom in here. I get it. He's probably the Fantastic Four's greatest villain, but the Fantastic Four have other villains like Galactus, I guess, and other villains that you could have used. You know, but or could have just been the Surfer himself. Well, him serving somebody, but I guess Surfer is a. I know there was like an anime series. And Silver Surfer's a cool character. I liked him in here. The special effects, the way he looks. Warren Fishburne did a great job with the voice. Ed Jones, playing him, he did really good. The makeup is fantastic. I'm not kidding. Sorry about the pun, but he looks fantastic. Special effects for him are fantastic. For 2007, yeah, looks awesome. I love the Fantasia cores. They're really cool. It's an entertaining sequel. But like I said, with those problems, you didn't need Galactus being a planet, and you could have just had Galactus be more of a threat, a bigger threat by the way he looks in the comics. He could have got an actor to play him in a suit or whatever, and have him team up with Silver Surfer or Fourth Silver Surfer to help him. Yeah, so they could have worked more on that story part of it. Like, and some of the rest of the humor's fine. Some of it you could have maybe cut out. Like, I don't really care about Reed and Sue getting married. I don't go for Jessica Alba. I think they're miscast. Now, Jessica Alba, don't get me wrong, she's hot. She's gorgeous in the second movie, in both movies, but her acting is just still, it's just terrible in my opinion. She's basically black and wood. She's nice to look at. I mean, she smiles and she's beautiful in the wedding dress, of course. Yes, beautiful, very. And I do like her and Johnny's brotherly moments when he tells their dad would be proud. They give each other a hug, or at the end of the movie when I do like in the ending when they give each other a hug, like we're a family, we're safe, we're good now. That was a great moment. I love that moment in the movie. That they're a team, a family. I just think that Iron Gopher, I can't say his name right. I just got to think. Yeah, and I didn't care about their relationship and them getting married. I didn't care about that too much. That was like, okay, I don't buy their chemistry. And but again, one thing I'll give it the 2015 film though, Fan Forces, say what you will, but I like Miles Taylor and Kate Mara better as Regents do. They're better cast in my opinion. And I think Miles Taylor's a better actor than Iron Gopher, and I think Kate Mara's a lot better actress. I'm sorry. Yeah, yeah, they're more of a quiet performances in those movies, especially Kate Mara. But I like Miles Taylor. I thought he was great as Reed, in my opinion. You know, yeah. And I do think Doctor Doom is better in that movie, by the way, because he's blowing up people's heads with his mind, he looks a lot more frightening. And this sequel, you know what I'm saying, over the, let's all go for a spin, yeah, cheesy line. You didn't need Doctor Doom in this movie. There was no need for him. You know. And the film was short, though. You could have added a bit more to the story. If they would have took Doctor Doom out, you could have maybe. I wouldn't have minded if the film would have been 2 hours, to be honest. Because the first movie, reason I like the first movie, because it does have a really good story. It's 106 minutes. It had a good, really great story, a better story. That you're not, and it's a good origin story as well. That's why I like the first movie better. And the first movie, I think, has somewhat better action too. I just think this movie has better cinematography as well. I'm not gonna say it's better than the first. The first movie's better, in my opinion. And I would still say the worst Fantastic Four movie for me is Roger Corman's 1994 film. I'm sorry, I think that film sucks. I thought that was boring. I thought that was stupid, and Doctor Doom was laughable. At least he's laughable in here, but in a good way. He's a lot worse than the 1994 one, in my opinion. But the film was 19 minutes long, so I'm not complaining. You could still, I'm not saying, I'd say you could maybe add a little in the story with Galactus and stuff. You didn't need to make him Galactus, make him a planet or whatever. They didn't need to do that. But I can't think of any more problems I have. Late Adrian Borna as John Hare, he was great. Doug Jones and Barry Gett as Captain Ray, she was great. The rest of the cast, when they're there, Kerry Washington, she has seen a bit more in this film a few times, and she's really good. So I'm not complaining about her. She was great, I thought, in my opinion. Don't know what else I can say about Fantastic Four Rise of the Observer. Fun sequel, in my opinion. If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend it. If you have seen it, you don't like it, that's fine too. You just don't agree disagree. But I think it's an underrated sequel. It's a solid sequel. It's a fun sequel, in my opinion. Very entertaining sequel. So my rating for Fantastic Four Rise of the Observer, I'm gonna give this a thumbs up. And my rating for this film again this film is 4 to 5 stars for Fantastic Four Rise of the Observer. So guys, tell me in the comments down below. What do you think of this movie in your opinion? Fantastic Four Rise of the Observer. Do you like it? Do you hate it? You probably do think it's better than. Do you agree with me that it's better than Fantastic Four, Fan Four Stick? But if you're like me, get on my Fan Four Stick. Which movie do you prefer the Roger Corman version from 1994 or the Fan Four Stick 2015? I would say the 2015 one. But I say I like these two movies. These probably are the two best Fantastic Four movies in my opinion. I would say the best one, but the two good ones. They're not great movies. They have their issues. So just Iron Girlfriend, Jessica Alba. You could have casted somebody more better than them. That's just my opinion. All right, guys. My next review. This is a Disney movie. I don't remember liking this movie, but the next review was the Walt Disney superhero film, uh, Underdog. Yes. I know it's based on a cartoon, but it's a superhero film, so it counts for this marathon. You know, yeah. But Underdog is next, and then we got one more review, which is another Marvel movie, but it'll be a Marvel animated one. That will be Doctor Strange: The Sorcerer Supreme. But next will be Underdog. So stay tuned for my review of Underdog. And guys, let me know what your comments in the comments down below. What do you think of Fantastic Four: Rise of the Silver Surfer in your opinion? Do you like it? Do you hate it? What do you think of it in your opinion? And stay tuned for my review for Underdog. So thanks for watching, guys. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you later. Have a good night. Please share my channel, like my channel, and share my channel with your friends and family, coworkers. I appreciate it, guys. Thank you for your support. Let's keep on making subscribers. Let's keep on going. All right, thanks for watching. Have a fantastic night or day wherever you're at. Bye bye.